and I'm also more honored that because, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful that we're able to have this much anticipation and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. Like, that's what I'm grateful.
He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through the...
Welcome to PopStream, the place where Hollywood's biggest stories collide with high-stakes drama. From the very moment news broke that a beloved best-selling novel was getting the silver screen treatment, fans were buzzing with anticipation. The story's blend of romance, resilience, and self-discovery felt like a perfect match, Blake Lively bringing her range as an actress, and Justin Baldoni delivering his trademark heartfelt direction. Early teasers only fueled the excitement. The costumes appeared bold and sophisticated, with playful visuals that suggested a fresh, modern twist while still honoring the book's emotional heart. For a while, it looked like a dream project destined to win both critics and audiences, but that excitement didn't last long. The conversation quickly shifted from red carpets to courtrooms as explosive allegations and legal battles took center stage. Everything reportedly unraveled after a single phone call, one that insiders claim flipped the entire case on its head and revealed a side of Blake Lively the public hadn't seen before. Even before the lawsuits, whispers of behind-the-scenes friction had been circulating in Hollywood. Sources alleged that Lively wanted a more glamorous, fashion-forward interpretation of the story, while Baldoni insisted on staying true to the novel's raw, emotional roots. At first, many assumed these creative clashes were the kind of disagreements that naturally work themselves out on big projects. But instead of cooling down, the tension only grew more visible. Lively later shocked fans by admitting she felt creatively sidelined and even pressured into promotional tactics that didn't align with her instincts. Within days of that revelation, Baldoni's legal team fired back with a defamation lawsuit, an unexpected move that stunned industry insiders. The stakes are massive, with damages rumored to climb into the hundreds of millions if the claims are proven in court.
For movies that could be commercial and speak to the human experience. And
Were you reading romance novels?
And I had never read a romance novel.
Ever?
And I'm sorry I made you feel that way. That must have felt terrible. And I will for sure do.
What started as a creative tug-of-war, should the film lean toward witty charm or preserve the novel's heavy emotional heart, quickly escalated into one of the most intense Hollywood legal battles in recent memory. Just as the conflict appeared to reach its boiling point, a stunning allegation shifted the narrative overnight. Justin Baldoni claimed that Blake Lively, or members of her inner circle, had planted or manipulated documents to paint him as the sole driver behind creative choices she no longer wanted tied to her image. At first, the accusations lacked hard proof. Still, whispers of suspicious emails and mismatched digital timestamps spread quickly, igniting speculation across the industry. Scandal behind the scenes is nothing new in Hollywood, but rarely does it spill into public view with this level of ferocity. Fans split down the middle, supporters of Lively emphasized her reputation for professionalism, while Baldoni's defenders highlighted his long history of sincerity and compassion. Then came the moment that sent shockwaves through the courtroom. During what should have been a routine scheduling hearing, Baldoni's attorney revealed the existence of a previously unknown phone call recording. The judge immediately froze proceedings, ordering both sides to privately review the audio before ruling on whether it could be admitted. But by then, the damage had been done. Rumors swirled that the recording could prove who truly championed the film's comedic touches and who later shifted course when fans demanded loyalty to the book's serious tone. Reports suggested the call captured a conversation between Lively and a high-ranking producer. Some insisted it was nothing more than a standard production discussion, but others whispered it had been intercepted and leaked by someone deliberately trying to reshape the story. Inside the courtroom, tension was palpable. Those present described the scene as cinematic, with Lively's uncharacteristic reaction stealing focus. For a star known for composure, her visible unease spoke volumes, fueling headlines within hours. Her team quickly pushed back, arguing the clip was selectively edited, stripped of context, and deliberately unveiled to blindside her. Yet speculation only intensified online. One theory claimed the audio caught her enthusiastically endorsing elaborate costume choices, contradicting her claim of being pressured into them. Another suggested it revealed her venting frustrations about Baldoni's creative approach, hinting she may have already been preparing to distance herself from his decisions. Some even speculated the call tied back to studio executives or outside power brokers, making her clash with Baldoni only one thread in a much larger web. Regardless of the truth, the recording tilted the legal battlefield. Baldoni's camp seized on it, insisting it proved Lively had supported the comedic vision until public backlash forced her reversal. Meanwhile, Lively's defense argued the material was weaponized, its framing designed to overshadow her genuine grievances. Her shaken demeanor in court, they maintained, wasn't evidence of guilt but of the sheer power a single, out-of-context audio clip could wield in dismantling her credibility. Beneath the spectacle, bigger questions loomed. Were the documents truly fabricated? Was the digital evidence tampered with? Could the email trail really prove an effort to smear Baldoni? And most importantly, did the phone call directly contradict those documents, or was it itself incomplete, manipulated, or even leaked with ulterior motives? For Baldoni, authenticating the audio could become the decisive breakthrough his case needed, with sources close to him insisting it shows Lively actively encouraged the very comedic elements she later rejected. But Lively's supporters remain skeptical, questioning why such a critical recording surfaced so late and speculating about whether powerful allies, possibly even Disney, which has recently strengthened ties with Baldoni, played a quiet role in shaping the timing. The implications are enormous. Industry insiders note that it isn't unusual for major studios to throw their weight behind a director when future projects are on the line, but for Lively, that kind of backing may feel less like support for art and more like a corporate machine aligned against her. And as the public fixates less on legal nuance and more on her raw, unguarded reaction, one thing is certain: the fight is no longer about costumes or tone. It has evolved into a battle over credibility, influence, and who controls the story in the court of law and the court of public opinion.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with.
Wow. There's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can, FaceTime or see each other.
Fans of It Ends With Us are now trapped in a cloud of uncertainty, questioning whether the long-promised adaptation will ever see the light of day. What began as a celebration of Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni teaming up to bring a beloved novel to the screen has been overtaken by a storm of legal drama. Instead of debating which cherished moments from the book would make it into the film, conversations now revolve around contested emails, disputed creative pitches, and the fallout from one bombshell phone call that has already reshaped the entire trajectory of the case. The shift has been striking. Once the focus was on art and storytelling, now it's on courtroom filings and digital forensics. This upheaval has fractured the fandom, deepening divisions while simultaneously mobilizing Lively's supporters. Actors, designers, and industry peers have spoken out in her defense, pointing to her track record of professionalism and collaboration. They argue that a single recording cannot capture the messy realities of studio politics, executive pressure, and evolving fan expectations, all forces that may have influenced her to pivot toward a more serious vision after initially entertaining lighter, more comedic ideas. Still, the damage from that audio clip is undeniable. For Baldoni, it has become a powerful weapon. He maintains the creative process was collaborative until Lively reversed course in response to fan backlash, and the call seems to suggest she was more invested in the comedic approach than she publicly admits. That narrative has tilted perception toward his side, leaving the project's future suspended in a precarious balance. Every new email leak, every forensic investigation, and every whispered detail has the potential to shift the outcome dramatically. Even Lively's visible reaction in court, raw, unguarded, and emotional, has become a defining image of the case. Was it the outrage of someone unfairly blindsided, or the breaking point of a carefully managed persona unraveling under pressure? Opinions are split, and the answer depends entirely on which side of the story people choose to believe. The hearing that revealed the phone call has cast a shadow not only over Lively's credibility but also over the production itself. If authenticated, the audio could severely undermine her claims. If ruled inadmissible or proven misleading, Baldoni's apparent upper hand could disappear overnight. It's a reminder of how quickly fortunes can rise or fall in the high-stakes world of Hollywood disputes, where reputations and multi-million-dollar projects can collapse in an instant. What once looked like a case destined to drag on quietly through months of depositions has instead become a volatile public spectacle. It feels less like a legal proceeding and more like a Hollywood thriller unfolding in real time, with Lively, normally the picture of composure, suddenly thrust into the role of a protagonist grappling with brutal, unscripted reality. For some, her reaction was the crack in a carefully crafted public image. For others, it was the human response of a star blindsided by evidence stripped of the context she insists is crucial. Now, the very survival of the adaptation hangs in limbo not just on courtroom rulings, but on whether more phone calls, messages, or documents will surface to fuel the fire. Each leak threatens to further erode the reputations of both Lively and Baldoni while simultaneously reshaping the creative destiny of the film itself. The road ahead could stretch for months, even years, with corporate power, settlement talks, and forensic battles shaping the outcome as much as the LAWIN. This way, the phone call has grown beyond the status of evidence. It has become a symbol proof of how quickly a promising artistic venture can spiral into crisis when celebrity image, corporate interest, and fan loyalty collide under the glare of public attention. Regardless of how the case resolves, one truth is already cemented: Blake Lively's confrontation with bombshell evidence will be remembered as a defining chapter in Hollywood history, a cautionary tale of how even the most carefully curated narratives can shatter in an instant. And the lingering question remains, when the dust finally settles, will the truth rise above the noise, or will this saga remain forever defined by rumor, strategy, and spectacle?